Hey folks, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community and the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors. Today is Monday, October 21st. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Village Farms. We're going to take a look at VFF on the chart, what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. Unfortunately, not so great news could be coming. It is going to be 28 days tomorrow since it has been trading under $1. So it's flirting around that minimum bid price rule. And it could get a warning from the NASDAQ really any week now. So there's probably going to be some reverse split FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt as a result. So we could see some more downward momentum because of this warning that could be coming. They'll still get 180 days, but we'll discuss all of that and more. And full disclosure, I do own VFF in my portfolio as well. And I'll never tell you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you're new, you can subscribe and like the video. I would appreciate it if you find value in today's video. And you can tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So as you can see, the NASDAQ minimum bid price rule. If the bid price remains below $1 per share for 30 consecutive days, NASDAQ will promptly send the company a deficiency notice. NASDAQ rules provide a 180-day calendar day cure period from the date of the deficiency notice based on the minimum bid price, during which the minimum bid price of a company stock must be $1 or more for 10 consecutive business days to avoid delisting. So once they get the warning here, they have 180 days. And then all they have to do to regain compliance is just see the stock trade above $1 for 10 consecutive business days. So this is something that, a lot of Canadian investors are not, it's something that they're very familiar with, right? It's not, you're no stranger to that because all the major names really in the MJ space have been, this is something that's been plaguing them, but the U.S. names haven't had to deal with this yet because they're all listed on the Canadian exchanges, right? We know Cureleaf just uplisted to the Toronto Stock Exchange, but they're not on the NASDAQ yet. So this is something that they will have to battle with eventually. But as of right now, there's no U.S. major producers that are on, the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, or the NASDAQ. So this is something that could come. But again, if we do get the notice that they are non-compliant with the minimum bid price rules, not the end of the world. You're probably going to see a ton of FUD around a reverse split, which it could happen. Not the end of the world, in my opinion, even if it did. And then they have 180 days, at which point they could get another extension as well. There's been some instances where they'll get 180 days and then they'll get an additional 180 days. And like I said, then they just have to hit that 10 consecutive business days in a row above $1 to regain compliance. So it's not the end of the world. Obviously, that is not desired, but just don't be surprised, and you should expect another drop down because if we do see this news come out, it's probably going to spook a lot of investors. We're probably going to see mainstream media start to pump the fact that they could potentially do a reverse split, and we have to come to terms with the fact that they could do a reverse split, right? There's companies that have done, multiple reverse splits in this sector. So this isn't something that we should, like I said, this isn't something that should surprise us, and we should not write it off. So if we take a look here, the last time it closed above $1 was back here on September 11th. And then right here, September 12th, closed at 98 cents. We came close the next day on September 13th. It was 99.9 cents. So you'd start it here from the 12th of September, and then you would go out to today's date. So it's 27 trading days, and tomorrow will be 28 days. So it could come 30 trading days would be this Thursday. So on Friday, technically we could see the notice, but it might be next week as well. So we'll keep an eye out on that. That would be, that would not be great, unfortunately, but I think that was the right day. Let me just go back here. So the 13th, it's the 12th, and then today, so it'd be the 24th. Yeah, so the Friday the 25th would be the 31st day this week. So we could potentially see it this week, but if not, more than likely next week if they fail to get above $1. And we closed near the low of the day today, so it's not looking too hot at the moment. We also just had a death cross with the 50-day above the 200-day moving average. And when that happens, that is signaling more downside. And we haven't seen that much downside here as a result. It's very possible that we see another leg down, in my opinion, and we do have some strong support down there around 75 cents. We had the golden cross, and then now we're going the other way with the 50 above the 200. And when that's the case, when the 50, the shorter term, is above the longer term, in this case the 200-day moving average, that's bearish. Bullish when the shorter term is below the longer term and they cross. So unfortunately, not looking too hot. On the weekly time frame, it's not looking too bad. It's looking like we could see a reversal here in the next few weeks. We know we have the hearing coming up on December 2nd as well. And then there's been some speculation that after the hearing, I brought this up in the POW Group private community today as well. A final ruling is expected to be published in the Federal Register within 60 days of the hearing, with the actual law change coming 30 days after that, putting MJ on track to be rescheduled sometime between January and March 2025. So that's a realistic time frame, and that was from the MJ Herald. And I've actually interviewed the chief editor there and founder. That would be Anthony Martinelli. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out. But yeah, this is something that could ignite the sector, and in my opinion, has a very high probability of playing out. And then we should see Florida pass adult use come the elections as well. So it's just 2 weeks, from tomorrow we'll have the elections. So we could see a ton of campaign pumping into that. And then I think Florida's going to pass it as well sometime in summer of 2025. It'll get enacted. So rescheduling sometime in spring, maybe summer. We'll just say we'll be modest and conservative, and we'll say, okay, we'll get it by the summer, and then we'll probably see Florida adult use go live in the summer as well. Excise tax improvement here in Canada. There's so many things. Germany looking to fast track Pillar 2. We have safe banking could happen in a lame duck or as a result of a new administration, and then uplisting for these U.S. MSOs as well. All very possible in 2025. So it's looking like MJ could be the best performing sector, but it's likely going to take a few more weeks before we start to really see some momentum building. And again, still waiting for big tech, AI, crypto to top out. And once it sees its final blow off top finale rally, then I think we're going to see a lot of that money rotate into the MJ space. Doesn't mean MJ can't drop if SPY were to see any kind of black swan or big correction in a short term basis, but overall, I think we're going to see that money go somewhere. It's going to probably rotate out of big tech, crypto, etc., into those sectors that have been in a 4-year bull market into other sectors that have not really been invited to the party, right? And I think MJ is definitely that sector that could be, if not the best performing, one of the best performing sectors. Biotech's going to be interesting as well, but yeah, that's something that I think is going to garner a lot of attention. And couple that with a few of these catalysts that we've seen. Like I said, it could be a perfect storm. But yeah, in terms of the weekly time frame, we did have a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as well, and it's actually a weekly bear flag now that I'm looking at it. So if we take our measured move here from the high to the low, anything under 97 point, we'll round it up, 97.9 cents was a potential weekly bear flag. So if you're wondering where we could potentially go on some FUD building here around a reverse split, we need to lose key support here at 85 cents to confirm it. In order to negate it, we'll say we need to get above 98 cents. If we get above 98 cents, we're no longer expecting this bear flag. But if we do lose 85 cents, that's going to confirm it. So those are the key resistance and support levels. And if we do confirm it, the measured move would say a drop down to around 62 cents. That would mean from current levels that we could see another 30% of downside from here. So don't be surprised if that were the case, because like I said, a lot of retail investors get spooked by reverse splits. Personally, I don't think it's the end of the world. Look at a name like INSG. It's not a MJ stock, but I mentioned that this thing was a screaming buy all day long below $2. And you can see here it did a 1 for 10 reverse split. And that was back in January of 2024 of this year. And here we are, it was up 11x, so 1,100%. So $1,000 investment into $11,000 in a very short period of time. We're coming on 1 year. Yeah, that was back in January of this year. So we're coming on a full year here now. If we just go to the monthly time frame, the low there was set at 162. So yeah, in 9 months, it's up 11x or 1,100%. So again, if it does happen to VFF, I don't think it's the end of the world. There's been a ton of other names in the space that have seen reverse splits, but then we'll be watching for this monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well. It happened back here in November 2020, right before the other elections, whenever Dems took control of the Senate. And we absolutely exploded. Then we had a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. Now we're gearing up for the first time in 4 years we could see another monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, which, like I said, into 2025 is more realistic, where we should see those moving averages, exponential moving average cross bullish, and we should see a multitude of other patterns and signals see a sustained rally. And like I said, with big tech, crypto, AI, all of that topping out, that'll be a good sign for the MJ sector, because I think that money's going to run and rotate somewhere, myself included. I have a ton of crypto. I have more crypto than I do dollar wise, than I do MJ dollar wise. So my biggest crypto holding, my number one crypto holding, is bigger dollar wise than my entire MJ portfolio dollar wise. So once we see that final euphoria blow off top moment, alt season in crypto, I'm going to be looking to rotate those profits into even more beaten down MJ. But let me know in the comment section below what you think of this. Do you think VFF's going to get that warning? And then ultimately, do you think they're going to have to pull the plug and do a reverse split to avoid delisting? Or do you think they're going to regain organically? All right, going in there, it's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.